My name is Hanayo Sachiusu. I'm a first-year high school student. I was born naturally unfortunate and have had a string of mishaps since I was a child. It rained when I went on field trips. I slipped on banana peels when I walked on streets. And when I fell on my butt, there was a cat's tail.
Are you okay?
There was a boy I had known since childhood who had always helped me out. This is him, Rio. He was a good-looking boy who was popular among the girls in kindergarten.
Hey!
Wow!
You're ruining your pretty face.
You're the only one who'd say that to me.
Really?
Thank you. He always called me Hana. He was blunt but kind, and I loved him. I always walked behind him, playing various games with him. All the boys didn't like to play house, but Rio would say,
We played Survey Corps earlier, so now it's Hana's turn to do whatever you want to do.
He was shy, but he would play along with me. How can I become your wife, Rio?
Huh?
I want to be your wife, Rio.
Why me?
Everyone calls me an unfortunate girl and won't play with me. But you're different. You're always kind.
That's because...
Because...
Nothing.
Hey, Rio, what kind of girl do you want as your wife?
Well...
Since then, I've been improving myself with Rio's words in mind. But I don't know if he remembers the conversation we had. There was no way to confirm it now. The reason for this is my moving. Just before I started elementary school, I had to go abroad because of my father's work. I don't want to be away from Rio. We'll be back once your father finishes his work, okay? I know you'll miss him, but we can't leave you, can we? There was no way a child's tantrum was going to change anything, and the day of the move was getting closer and closer. Rio found out through his mother that I was moving. According to my mother, Rio was also in tears, but when we met in person, we didn't say anything to each other and played together until the day I moved. Then came the day of the move. I wrote a letter and went over to Rio's house, not having said goodbye yet. But I'm sorry, but Rio's down with a high fever since this morning and is sleeping now. I see. I handed the letter to Rio's mom and waved my hand towards Rio's room. I'll come back as a wonderful girl. 10 years later, I was finally able to come back to my hometown as a freshman in high school. And it just so happens that Rio is attending my new school. Oh, what kind of boy has he become? I wonder if he remembers me. The first day of school arrived with excitement. I looked at the class list given to me by my teacher. I'm in the same class as Rio! Yay! Yay! I went to the classroom excitedly. As I entered the classroom, I glanced around the class, but couldn't immediately recognize him. Not wanting to look around too much, I introduced myself, trying to calm my racing heart.
Okay, so your seat is by the window, next to Rio.
Huh? At that moment, a sight I had never imagined came into my eyes. Hey, Rio, what kind of girl do you want as your wife?
Well... It's a dream. My name is Rio, and I'm a freshman in high school. The dream I just had was a conversation with a girl I liked in kindergarten. Am I still not over her? Even after all this time? On the day Hana moved, because I was up late at night writing a letter to her, I came down with a fever and collapsed. When I woke up, Hana was already gone, and Mom gave me the letter she had left me.
Dear Rio, thank you for playing with me. We'll be apart for some years, but I'll come back after my dad finishes his work. Please wait for me. Hana.
I couldn't say goodbye, and I cried so hard. Then, time passed. To tell the truth, my school life was a complete disaster. I was thin when I was little, but from around the time I started elementary school, the more I ate, the more fat I put on my body. By the time I was in junior high school, I was 170 centimeters and 90 kilograms. I was neither a good student nor an athlete, and it was almost a miracle that I was accepted into my current high school. After I gained weight, girls started calling me fat, smelly, and gross, and I began to have a hard time with them, and naturally started to distance myself from them. I've settled into the position of an introvert. If Hana saw me now, she would be disappointed. With this in mind, I felt disappointed and relieved because I would never see her again. So I guess that's why I had such a dream about the past. Then, one day, a new student unexpectedly came to my class.
Nice to meet you. My name is Hanayo Sachusu. I was in America during elementary and middle school. Please make friends with me.
My mouth dropped open. What I saw in front of me was the very Hana I remembered. No, it was my first love, with a clean-cut face and in great shape. She looks discreetly around the classroom. Is she looking for me? How could she recognize? I'm like this. Please, don't find me. I knew it was impossible, but I had to ask God for help.
Okay, so your seat is by the window, next to Rio.
Huh?
Hey, what the hell? Hana's gaze on me hurts. I couldn't look directly at Hana as she approached me to take a seat, so I just kept looking down.
Rio?
The moment she spoke to me, I ran out of the classroom with such speed that I wondered how a fat guy could move so agilely. I heard Hana's voice calling my name behind me. I'm too ashamed to let her see me like this. After that, Hana called out to me several times, but I couldn't even have a proper conversation with her.
Rio! I was surprised at the change in Rio's appearance, but more than that, I was shocked that he was clearly avoiding me.
Hey, Hanayo! Let me show you around the school!
Huh? Oh, yeah, thanks, but I'm fine. I have some things to do.
Is it Rio by any chance?
And we've known each other since childhood.
Huh, what's that fat introvert?
Oh, what's an introvert?
It's a guy who's plain and not cool.
Rio's not like that!
In fact, he is. I don't think you should get involved with him either, Hanayo. Instead, come hang out with me. My senior said he's interested in you.
No thanks. What's wrong, Rio? I asked a friend in my class to give me Rio's message account, and I decided to contact him. Rio, it's me, Hanayo. My friend gave me your contact information. You're reading this, right?
Long time no see.
Long time no see. Hey, why do you avoid me at school?
You shouldn't get involved with me.
Why?
'Cause I'm an ugly fatty.
Who told you that?
Everybody says that.
Who's everyone?
Everyone is everyone.
I didn't say that, though.
But you must be disappointed. You haven't seen your childhood friend in years. And now, I'm like this. No, maybe you don't think of me as a childhood friend, but...
The next thing I knew, I was running out of the house with my phone in my hand.
After it was read, I didn't receive any reply from Hana. She must have been taken aback. And just when I thought this...
Rio!
I heard her voice from outside the window. I opened the curtains and saw Hana looking up in my room, and our eyes met.
Where is the sweet old you? What happened to your promise to make me your wife? I came back for that!
Tears were in Hana's eyes as she breathed on her shoulder. Hana, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm pathetic.
If you think you're pathetic, try to change! Rio, you said it! Rio, what kind of girl do you want as your wife?
I'll think about it when you've become the most beautiful woman in the world.
Did I speak from such a high place? No, I was definitely just embarrassed. I was so ridiculous back then.
I'm not there yet, but I will be someday! So keep your promise! Don't be a wimp forever!
Both Hana and I kept yelling and screaming, saying things we didn't understand. Then, something changed inside me. From that day on, I reviewed my self-indulgent eating habits and started running, which is an effective way to lose weight. The next morning, my muscles were sore from the sudden exercise, but I got up half an hour earlier than usual and went for a run. Then...
Hey!
Hana?
I'm trying to lose weight too. Japanese girls are all too thin. Let's race to the park.
Oh, Hana! Ugh.
Nice catch.
Banana peel. You haven't changed.
Yeah, I guess.
From there, Hana and I began running together. And when we could afford to do so, we also started doing muscle training using the park's iron bars. We continued such a lifestyle for 6 months.
As Rio gradually lost weight, he began to regain confidence, and his personality became brighter and brighter. My friends were gossiping about how handsome he had become lately. But that was the real Rio. I'm a little proud of him. I'm gonna go home with him again today. Hanayo, our senpai wants to see you. What? Me? He wants you to come to the back of the school building. I wonder what he wants. There's only one thing. Huh? I headed to the back of the school building, not understanding why my friend was in high spirits.
You're so cool! Hello, Hanayo. Why don't you be my girlfriend from today?
What? No, I won't.
You better not go against me, you know. That's what I meant. Okay, what's your answer?
I can't. There's someone I love.
Returnees are selfish, aren't they? I guess you'll have to suffer a little more pain to understand.
It was that moment I closed my eyes at the swinging fist.
What the hell are you doing?
Jeez, fat pig!
You all look so funny.
I'm not fat anymore.
Ugh. Senpai!
Let's get out of here, Hana.
Okay. We ran to the neighborhood park. The 2 guys from earlier were chasing us from behind, but they were no match for us after half a year of running.
Why the hell did you go to him?
I was told he was calling for me, and I didn't know what to do.
Jeez, you're easy to get caught up in all kinds of complicated things. So be careful.
Yeah.
Well, next time someone calls you, tell them you have a boyfriend and say no.
Huh?
We can't get married right off the bat. What?
I'm too slow to understand. Rio mumbled for a while.
From now on, you stay within 2 lengths behind me, okay?
Yes, sir. Then our relationship started, and we became an official couple at school. By the way, as for the senior who tried to do something terrible to me, my friend who passed on the message to me was furious when she found out about this and apologized, saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't know it was him." She went around the school spreading the word about their misdeeds, saying that she'll never forgive him. Apparently, the word spread to the teachers and they lost their place in school and quit. Rio still goes to and from school with me because he doesn't want anything to happen to me. Rio is still the same as before. Today, too, I'm looking at his shy profile from a special seat.